Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Free Thinking the Culture podcast with your host Noir. That would be me. And before we get started, I needed to just drop something on you really quick that I'm really super proud of. To my people over in the United States, thank you for your support. But also let me shout out 3 other countries and whatnot that is really just supporting heavy. Sweden, Italy, and the United Kingdom. Yo, I truly appreciate you guys pulling up. If this is your first time here, I'm your host Noir. And if you're a returning subscriber, follower, or whatever you want to classify yourself as in this situation, thank you for your support, all right? I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, the track you hear in the background is called Ice Baby by Flo Milli. Please check her out. And that's going to be the vibe of this session right here. The first definition that we're getting into as we head into this talk, the Matrix. Let me go ahead and break down the definition for you real quick. An environment or material in which something develops, a surrounding medium or structure. Let's talk about that for a quick second and where you fit in the Matrix. Now, we know the Matrix as this computerized, generalized, living environment where we're trapped in that we aren't aware of, right? When we clearly are aware that we're trapped in like a matrix or a labyrinth or whatever you want to classify this as. Where do you fit in within the Matrix? That's my question to you. Do you feel like you are making progress within the structure that you are in this moment? Because a lot of the times we do not think about the things that are created and curated for us as we go out into this world. Remember I told you how we go out into the world, Novocaine, because we numb ourselves to all of that, right? And you know, I always refer to previous episodes because they all tie into each other some type of way. When we think about that, when we think about our place in the Matrix and what we contribute to it, what does that mean to you? How does that make you feel? Because a lot of the times we do not ask that question to ourselves. What am I contributing to this, or what am I taking away from this? What am I feeding into it? Am I feeding the beast? Am I responsible for the Matrix running the way it is? My answer is yes. Yes, we all contribute to it, whether it's positive or negative. It was a structure and a system that was already put here for us to be in when we were born into it. So, you know, it's not our fault that we were born into it. It's just we were here. Now we have to figure out what comes with that. What is our mark in that matrix? Or what is our purpose in that matrix? Which actually leads me to the next definition, purpose. Purpose, the reason for which something is done or created for which something exists. Now, here we go. We're trying to figure out, okay, what is my purpose here? Because we all have a purpose when we're born into it, right? Think about it like this. I think I mentioned this earlier in a previous episode of you're meant to be here. On a cellular level, you may not understand it because on the cellular level, you don't have your own mind going on. You're not developed like that. At different points in your life, you're structured and you're programmed to achieve different things, right? When you're such a small piece of cell coming from your father going to your mother, let's touch on that really quick. When you're floating through them fluids and getting to the egg, because you know you determine that's your purpose in getting here, right? Right. You've achieved that purpose. If you're listening to this broadcast, congratulations, you won the human race. Out of all the siblings that you beat out to get here, congratulations, you're here. Now what? When you were a child, what was your purpose? To grow up to being a functional adult, to go out into society, right? But what does that mean? What does that mean to be this functional adult in society? Like, what do you contribute to that, and what does it contribute to you? Because as far as I'm concerned, you contribute way more to this matrix than it does to you and your well-being. This defines the moment of what separates the boys from the men, what separates the girls from the women, and all of that in between. I ain't trying to, all the binary, all these pronouns. I ain't got time.
Nope.
I don't have time to be distinguishing all of y'all. I'm just gonna be real. If you get in where you fit in with that, just know that you here. You feel me? And you are valued as a human. First and foremost, let's erase all the color lines and all the different pronouns and everything. We value you as a human first and foremost. That's your place here. But what is your place? Have you asked yourself that? The next time you brushing your teeth in the mirror, the next time you washing your face and you just kind of looking and you kind of look yourself up and down. If you got a full body mirror, look yourself all around and say, what's my purpose? What am I doing? Am I fulfilling what I'm supposed to be here doing? Because do you really even know what that is? A lot of us don't. A lot of us go through life trying to figure out what is that next step? What is my purpose? What am I doing? I remember back when I was working my retail jobs and whatnot like that, you do what you got to do when you go into college or you move to new cities, you pick up any job you can. But while I was bagging these people's items and, looking at them getting their fresh round of plastic surgery, I'm looking like, what am I doing? This can't be my purpose. Baby girl over here wrapped up in a fresh bandage and I'm looking like, do you want to open up a Gap card? Baby, my life was in shambles. I'm trying to figure out where was I at? Where was my place? But then I started to have this awakening, right? This awakening that happens within all of us. It's different stages in your life. If when you start hitting your teens, when you start hitting your 20s, if you lucky to be in your 30s and so on and so forth, you start to realize different things start to trigger in you, and you saying, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. You don't know quite where it's at. You don't know quite how you're going to get there, but you do know you need to get there, and you go figure it out when you get there. You'll know when you get there. That's the thing, right? You're like, I don't know what this thing is that's calling me from over there, but I know I'm supposed to be over there and not over here with the have-nots. I'm supposed to be over here with the people that got it all. And I'm not saying, when I say the people that got it all, don't think about the people that have the luxuries, the expensive cars, the condos in the sky, the just passable income, the people that just be living so absorbent that's force-fed to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all these different avenues, because then that leads to my next topic, distractions. What is a distraction? A thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. Pause. How many times have you been distracted in your life? Right? Think about all the times you meant to do something or you meant to achieve something and something got in your way. Maybe it be a phone call, an email. Social media is a huge distraction for a lot of people, including myself. A lot of the times I have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, because what am I doing by always being on my phone and it not being a productive exchange, or it's not forwarding me to the place I need to get? Remember, I said I'm trying to get over there. I'm trying to get on my own island. You know what I'm saying? So the distractions come in at a time when you are headed in the right direction. This ties in together with the Matrix and your purpose. The Matrix is going to throw any type of distraction they can at you at any given time. And it's going to be so programmed to throw you off track, you're not going to realize that you have been distracted. How do I know this? Why do you think that they're so hard on creating AI in the algorithm? The algorithm is a study that really learns what you like, and it's meant to force feed you like the perfect ads, the perfect social media platforms that you will pay attention to. You were just looking at like a pair of shoes or a pair of jeans or a dress or whatever it is that you were looking at, right? All of a sudden, you saying, let me get to work, let me mind my business. Next thing you know, you look up, you in your work email randomly or your junk mail or something like that come through. It's something that's giving you a discount code for it. So now you back distracted, right? You're supposed to be over here working on your craft or doing whatever it is that you're supposed to be working on. You got distracted again just that quick. It's unfortunate, but it's something that's programmed to keep us off track. Find your purpose. Next time you're brushing your teeth in the mirror, look yourself up and down and say, am I where I'm supposed to be? If you're not happy with your body, get up and change it. But take me with you in your ear, because I'm going to talk that shit and I'm going to make sure you go get on your track. But take me with you. I'm not a distraction. I'm here to program you and say, hey, you're not on your purpose, baby. You need to get to where you need to go. I'm that little shortcut, that little detour that puts you back on track to the main highway. That's where you want to be. Right now, you on the dirt road. You traveling and you're hitting bumps and lumps and you trying to figure out, why is this road so rough? It's because you off track, right? I need you to look at the detour sign, which is me right now. And I need you to go back and get back on the main highway and get back on track where that GPS is set straight. But let me also warn you, just because you're back on track does not mean that road is going to be any easier. In fact, it's probably going to be way harder than the road that you were just off on when you were off track. Just FYI. Don't think that shit's going to be sweet. Don't think that you ever go walk through this life and it's just going to be a cakewalk like, oh, great. Everything's aligning up. Now, sometimes it will. Sometimes it's going to be divine intervention. You go wake up, your day's going to be perfect. You go wake up on time. You go feel very refreshed. You go feel like you've had the perfect rest. You go feel like hitting the gym. You go eat right all that day. But guess what happened? A motherfucking distraction come out the side of your neck, and next thing you know, you eating a bag of M&Ms and you fell off track. Baby, let me tell you something. Do not get this, don't fall for it. The title of this show today, ice, baby. Ice that hoe up. Ice that distraction, put it on ice. Put it in the freezer and set it to the side and don't pay no attention to it. You gotta be cold to this world sometimes when you walk out and about. Sometimes you gotta put yourself forward, and I'm gonna always preach this message. Sometimes you have to say no to a lot of people to achieve your potential, your purpose. Sometimes you have to say no to the distractions. Say no, it's okay. A lot of the times we wanna help other people out doing different things, and a lot of times we wanna give ourselves and we wanna really, really extend a helping hand, but sometimes we have to determine, is this going to hurt me in helping somebody else? And I'm not saying that your friends or people that you want to help are distractions, but I am saying it will distract you from the goal that you set for maybe yourself. Because sometimes, let me use this example, and I hope nobody takes offense to this, but let's say somebody asks you for money, right? You just saved up $100 for something. I'm just gonna make up random figures. You just saved up $100. Somebody asking for 50. The good heart in you wants to give that 50 and say, oh, here, and just pay me back whenever. But you know that that's gonna be a detriment to yourself by helping somebody else. Sometimes you have to say no, and that's okay. And I'm not saying that all distractions are bad distractions. Please let me not say that, because some distractions you need. Some distractions you need to get to give you that break from going so hard on yourself. All I'm gonna say is tread carefully. Do not put yourself in a position to where you have exhausted your energy by giving it to somebody else. I always preach that energy that you have, it doesn't evaporate. It goes from one person to the next or one thing to the next. Energy is forever flowing. You're not gonna get rid of energy. It's gonna go somewhere, whether it be out into the universe, whether it be to another person, whether it be to an inanimate object, whatever that is, that's gonna go where it needs to go. Use your energy wisely, man, when you're dealing with the matrix. Because honestly, the matrix main point is to keep you within that. But what do you do to break out of the matrix? You ask, what do I do to break up the whole routine of me just getting up, going to the gym, me trying to live me trying to keep my nose clean, me trying to lay low? How do you break that up? Change something that you know that won't just mess you up completely, but start doing those small changes here and there, and let's see where you end up. Because hey, you've been working so far with the matrix so far, right? You've been doing this pattern. What's the harm in changing up a little thing? What's the harm in cutting your hair a different way? It's gonna grow back. What's the harm in going to the gym and doing a different routine? You still gonna be healthy. What's the harm in starting you a side gig so therefore you won't have to depend on a different system that keeps you in bondage? Because one of the hardest jobs I've experienced as of now is entrepreneurship. Super hard. Why? Because you don't depend on anybody else but yourself. Not for views, not for listens, not for anything. Let me tell you something about people. People will say they're going to support and do things for you. You cannot depend on that. You cannot. Because people, to a fault, yes, they want to support, but remember what I just said, when sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes they give you a silent no. Yeah, they'll say, yeah, I support you to your face, but behind the scenes, they're not really supporting you like that. You have to depend on yourself to get yourself out of the matrix and out of this routine. You have to. Nobody's responsible for that outside of yourself. So what is your place in this matrix now, I ask? And I'm going to put, for my Spotify listeners, I'm going to put up a poll, and it'll be multiple choice. Answer that for me if you're on Spotify. I hate that Apple and Google Podcasts and whatever you may be listening to doesn't give you like the option for the polls. But for Spotify, I'm going to put that up. Whatever it is, participate, please. Where are you at in this matrix right now in your life? No matter what age you are, answer that for me. Where are you at in your matrix standpoint, in this labyrinth? You in the lower quadrant, the higher quadrant, mid quadrant? Are you even started? Did you even get past the starting point? Because some of y'all just be born and just be happy with being born and being complacent. Don't do that. Don't set yourself up like that and fall to the matrix like that, because before you know it, you laying in the pod, in the megaverse, with your mind programmed into something else. Don't allow that. Don't allow yourself to fall victim to the matrix. Fight your way out. Just the way that you fought your way out. See, look, here we go. A full circle moment. Just the way that you fought yourself from your father to your mother to that egg to be born, you have to now fight your way out of the matrix to get to a different level. Before you leave this earth, you have a purpose to fulfill. You need to fulfill that purpose before you leave here, man. Leave your mark, however that may be. But let it be for the greater good that can push humanity forward. Leave your mark forward to when somebody references your name, they can say, that person was a good person. That person looked out for me. That person helped me when they could. And even if they couldn't, they had a good enough heart to say that they wanted to. Be that type of person. Be that type of person that focuses on your culture and that's helping everybody come together in unity. You know what I'm saying? Like the matrix is gonna drive you away from that type of purpose. Don't fall victim to that. Fight your way out of the labyrinth. Fight your way out of the matrix. Because I want you to succeed. I want us all to succeed. I'm one of those people. You know, have you ever met somebody? Me, it's me. I'm people. Have you ever met somebody that's always just trying to see the best in people? I'm that. I hate to see people lose, or I hate to see people doing down. And I always feel like, man, if I just had the money, man, if I just had extra properties, man, if I just had all these different things. But then I had to stop thinking that's a distraction within itself. Listen to me, what I say. You yourself can be a distraction. You distract yourself sometimes when you doubt yourself. I have very good friends in my corner. They had to stop me from saying, stop saying little, stop saying if, stop saying if you can, stop saying you should, and do it. That was one of the best detours to get me back on track I've ever had in my life. And I share that lesson with you because it's like you off track. You need somebody to tell you. And sometimes our family and friends are so nice, they're not honest with us. They don't let us know when we falling and slipping. I remember one time when I had gained weight, and my mom, as sweet as she is, mamas and daddies go always love their kids no matter what size. And I wasn't super big, but I had got a little thick, a little thicker than what they used to seeing me. And I remember my mom in a motherly way, she was like, "What's up, beefcake?" And it made me think, like, low-key, was she calling me fat, like on the slick? Like, I kind of laughed, but I know she meant well. But that was me getting back on track. It was like, I've been distracted. I've been too busy feeling down on myself, thinking, oh man, I could never achieve this. Oh, I was in a very low vibrational state, bro. Me not even realizing it. And even though my mom, she had no bad intentions, because I know my mother, she has no bad intentions with that. It was a very good divine intervention of her, like, kind of letting me know, like, hey, get back on track. And my mom is super good with that. So is my dad. Like, the things that they say sometimes, they know how to talk to their kids. And I like to relay that type of message to my friends or to you guys. I like to relay the message saying, hey, you distracted, get up. You fallen. Fallen from another previous episode, right? You fallen, it's time for you to get up. You can't always be a victim. You can't always be down. You need to relight your torch, and you need to get back up so you can light somebody else's torches. And I come to you with my light to get that shit to you. And what I want you to do, I want you now to take your freshly lit torch and go light somebody else shit up. Influence somebody else to do good in this world. And know that when you walk away, you did that with great intentions, and those great intentions are going to be paid forward to other people and several other people. Like I said, shout out to the United States, Sweden, Italy, United Kingdom. For those of you who are listening, please spread the word. To be a free thinker, you first of all have to think outside of yourself. To be a free thinker, you really have to be in a mindset way above yourself. There comes the sacrifice. This is the sacrifice where you give yourself to humanity for the greater good. This is where you add your brick to the house known as society, as humanity. Where do you put it? Where is your brick gonna be strong? Or you gonna have one of them little manufactured bricks, the ones that are real weak, that look like a faux brick. Let me put the faux brick that you put up there be looking like a brick, but it really ain't a brick, which means it ain't shit. Don't be a faux brick. Be a brick house. You feel me? Be strong. If you want to get out of the matrix, put your phone down. The only time you need to have it in your hand is when it's something that's progressing you forward, and when you're moving forward in this life and you're researching something that can help you out. Shut off all the white noise. When I record these podcasts, I really have to get in this little studio space that I've made in my closet, and I really have to focus and block everything out, because LA is a very loud city, let me tell you, first of all. And honestly, I can't focus with all the white noise in the background. Sometimes I need dead silence to be able to hear my own thoughts, and those will be the best times, in my opinion. My best hours, I'm recording this at 6:40 p.m. My best hours are like 6 o'clock later on, like all the way to the wee hours of the morning, like around 3 a.m. That's when the world is super quiet, right? The world be so quiet that I'm able to hear my true intentions come through. Whatever's divinely being fed to me at that point, I'm able to hear it way better. Those are creative hours for me. So I'm up writing down things, journaling things. I invite you to do that in your own life. When you notice that you're up sometime at night, it's not just insomnia. Sometimes spiritually, it's tapping on your shoulder saying, hey, I'm trying to get you to acknowledge something. Acknowledge that within yourself. Acknowledge that within your spirit. Acknowledge that within your mind. And I promise you, you're going to start moving forward. Stop shutting out what's meant for you and start shutting out what's not. All right? And with that being said, please, 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 I ask that you always follow the page. Please leave a review, rate it 5 stars. And right before you free think, I need you to rethink. All right, guys, I'll holler at you later. Bye.